Greetings, good afternoon, etc. As always, welcome, everyone. As you know, the Conservative Civil War is now kicking off in full display. And one interesting thing at the moment is there's now a lot of speculation of Robert Jerrick, aka Generic Jerrick, maybe being the dark horse of this race. I don't know if that is going to turn out to be true. I generally don't know if that is going to turn out to be true, but what a lot of people have been saying about this race at the moment is that Jerrick is going out and he is, quote, saying all the right things. Now, maybe we'll do another video about that later on down the line, because I think that needs to be examined. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to have time to do another video today, so you're only going to get one today, unfortunately. But like I say, I've got a lot of, shall we say, very thirsty Scots to go and take on a train pub crawl later. So I am going to be enjoying myself later on today. So as always, thank you very much to all those people who do help and support the channel. Like I say, down below, the Patreon page, the Buy Me Coffee link, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, the Pony Club down below as well. So thank you very much to all your support that you guys do show. But now we're going to go over on today to have a look at this. This is Kemi Badenoch, and more specifically, this has been written by a couple of MPs who are now backing Badenoch and why they are supporting her. And to be honest, when we go through this, you will got to be end up asking the question, and when we get through this, why exactly are they supporting her? Because I'm not gonna lie, Kemi Badenoch has not done a lot. And remember, just yesterday we went through all those allegations. You know, the bullying accusations, the toxic environment, the how she treated her civil servants in her department. Those could come back to bite her maybe in the future, maybe in the leadership contest. But I'll tell you now, if they do end up electing Kemi Badenoch, they ain't gonna win, because at the moment, all these riots that we've seen going on, the Conservative Party is not coming out to fully condemn these people. Why? Because they're still chasing after that reform vote. And until they can, actually come out and condemn that and be the actual, law and order party, guys. I thought that's what you were. I thought that was your big tagline. We are the law and order party. Yeah, I don't see a path for recovery. I do not see a path for recovery at all for the Conservatives. But anyway, let's go on into this. So, Rob Butler, Theo Clarke, Clarkson, and James Daly. Why we're backing Badenoch. And to be honest, it's difficult to see why. But anyway, so we lost last month because we were seen as divided and incompetent. Well, it wasn't just that. It wasn't just that. It was the fact that, you had been, lying to the electorate for the past 10 years, not really delivering on promises, constantly going from crisis to crisis to crisis, focusing on short-term wins rather than long-term stuff that, they could have achieved, not investing when they were just obsessed with cutting taxes, especially towards the end. Oh my God, if only we cut taxes somehow, somehow that will fix everything. But again, as I've always said, so ideologically fixed. Massive point on that. But anyway, back to this. The defeat on the 4th of July was the largest our party has now ever known, and we all feel the pain of rejection from the British electorate. We see that the public were now tired of our constant bickering and fighting, and we know that due to our own failure to deliver, that we left our office with just a 12% approval rating. Yeah. Why? And again, it was more than just that. It was more than just the bickering and infighting, which, bear in mind, not going to be solved. Not going to be solved because of, Bob Blackwell's, yellow card and strongly worded letters. I doubt that's going to change anything. But there is one upside to the scale of defeat. It is now clear that the Conservative Party urgently needs to unite and change. Every single candidate is saying this. Oh, we need to unite. Okay, unite around what? What what goals, what policies, what are they going to unite around? At the moment, unite is just a buzzword they're throwing around. And then change for what? Anyway, we all now represent different types of seats, but we all share the very design for our party to sort of win again. These ideas of unity and change are now becoming the theme of the leadership and the contenders now moving forward. But we need to accept that unity cannot come at the expense of truth. And we need a leader who puts honest debate, sometimes bracing debate, at the heart of who they are. And only after such a debate can we actually unite and ask the British public to trust us again. Again, trust you on what? And what debate? What truth is Badenoch exposing? Anyway, this was, quote, not the run-of-the-mill defeat. It was a warning of our 200-year-old party who was now on the verge of very much precipice. Fake, I love this, fake unity based on platitudes and a refusal to accept reality will not last a year, let alone a parliament. Well, how is your unity pitch not fake? Are you going to actually explain why you're going to come together under this unity? This is so hollow. So hollow. We need someone who will now stood up to the challenge and, of course, renewal in the past. That's why, from all parts of the party, we support Kemi Badenoch as leader. Badenoch has a fresh, original, authentic voice that can communicate beyond the Westminster bubble to communities that we represent. Prove it. I don't really see that. I don't see Badenoch communicating. Maybe to your local party constituents. I don't see her communicating well out beyond that. And she's never shown herself to be a good communicator. But there you go. She was the first minister who we saw dare to identify and push back on the new type of left-wing politics based on a rising regulation and quangos, diversity, identity politics, and extreme environmentalism. Left-wing policies. Who was in charge when she was raging against that, guys? Would that be your own party? Are you now against your own party's left-wing politics? Just okay. Anyway, she knew the risk of taking down this common sense beliefs of ordinary voters in favor of now of increasing government control was a mistake. Again, what exactly does the government control and common sense got to do? Because I'll tell you what, if you look into a lot of health and safety, when people have gone, oh, this is just common sense gone bananas. Yeah, because it turns out you actually needed health and safety rules and guidelines and to tell people this was what health and safety was. Otherwise, guess what? They get injured. And I can pretty almost guarantee you can see, like, when health and safety comes in, like you see this up line, I guarantee there will be a correlating down line with like accidents at work. Would not surprise me if that existed somewhere. But again, government control of what? What are we talking about? Where is government control too big? Once again, nothing. It's a complete nothing burger so far, this. So the Audio vote is in favor of increasing government control, and that was a mistake. She has the determination, conviction, and principles to articulate the truth about the problems that we face and lead us to the solutions. Really? Because Badenoch, apparently, for all this truth she's apparently spinning, I haven't seen her offer any solutions, except the usual. You know, it is the usual ideological stuff of cut taxes, no government, smaller government, etc. That's not new. That is not dealing with any of the problems that we face. When even your own party wants good governmental public services, but you're the party who's now saying, well, we're going to cut taxes. So how are you going to fund those public services? Oh, through growth. Well, how are you going to achieve that growth? Magic, you know? Oh, anyway, ultimately, we will need someone with the strength and the qualities who can take the fight to the other opposition parties, but we will also need to be able to do what we can to create a vision for modern conservatives now worth fighting for. We need a leader who can actually set out our vision in a very positive way, unite us around a core values, turn those values into modern policies, and then deliver victory at a general election. And she ain't going to do that. She ain't going to do that. Her policies are going to be garbage, trash, the usual guaranteed conservative guff. There's going to be no unity in the party. There is going to just continued infighting. Kemi Badenoch doesn't have friends. She has frenemies. And trust me, if she does get to the top, as we've talked about before, she's going to have a massive target on her back because there's going to be a lot of people with grudges to settle. And when you're at the top, there's no bigger target than you. So, she will probably not last long. The unity, how you achieve this unity, well, no one's talked about that. They're all pitching unity, but not one of them has actually talked about how they achieve this unity, how they put an end to all this infighting. And it all goes back to these huge ideological differences that now exist in the party. And until you solve those ideological differences, which is going to be, this is our stance, if you don't like it, tough, they're going to have huge problems on this. Anyway, back to this. Labour's now listless landslide is one that we can now overturn. Good luck on that. They got fewer votes in 2024 than we did in 2019. Again, that's not how you win elections. It's about the seats, and they won more seats. Hence why you lost. Doesn't matter on, quote, number of votes. And while reform is the real threat, I love it. Reform is the real threat. Chasing that reform vote. Chase it all you want, guys. Because you are ignoring your real threat, which is the Lib Dems. And oh boy, are they going to have your breakfast if you continue to go after reform. So good luck on that. They are now overwhelmingly focused on immigration. Controlling immigration is, of course, necessary but not sufficient to peace to now build a wider conservative vision. Yeah. And you guys, by your own actions and words, failed to do that. What are you going to do different to solve immigration? But there you go. In other previous contests, we all backed other candidates, but we now agree it has to be Badenoch. She served she served loyally. Did she now? I'm pressing X to doubt on that one. And now we must be very much honest about the problems and unite behind it to solve them. We are excited about Tira platform, and as she sets it out in this contest, and oh boy, am I as well, because her platform isn't going to be very good at all. Her platform is not going to be very good at all. It is going to be more of the same that we've heard. She ain't going to offer anything different. There's nothing going to be radical in her platform. And ultimately, it will be one that the British public will ultimately reject at the next general election, and she will lose. And that's even if she makes it to the next general election. I don't think she will. I really don't think that she will, but there you go. So, as always, let me know what you think down below. But to be honest, that was just a complete nothing burger. Like, oh yes, we're supporting Kemi Badenoch because she tells the truth. She's got all these solutions. What are these truths? Because there's nothing there. What are these, again, solutions? There's nothing there. They talked about, oh yes, identifying all these left-wing You were the ones in power ultimately for the past 14 years with an overwhelming majority since 2019. Not as overwhelming as Labour currently have. But, guys, they can't, once again, going back to like what went wrong. There is no one thing that went wrong. It was a lot of things. And you've got to really lay out almost every single thing that went wrong. And until they can actually do that, they're sunk. Oh yeah, reforms are a real threat. Meanwhile, who did they lose more seats to? To the Lib Dems. They lost more seats to. Like I say, Reform is splitting their right-wing vote. So congratulations to something that the left has had a problem with for years, trying to solve that problem. Good luck trying to solve that, because it's going to be interesting to see how Kemi Badenoch deals with Reform. But anyway, as always, let me know what you think down below. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.